Hey guys, Joe here. Today I'm going to be showing you a few tips and tricks on how to improve your gaming when you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, I haven't really seen a video like this before, so make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into the video. Alright, so my first tip or trick is to have a class that suits the map you're playing. So if you're going to be playing maybe Skyjacked, you're going to be either wanting probably the Brecci, the KRM, or any of the shotguns really, apart from the Banshee. This is purely because Skyjacked is a pretty close range map. There's not much long range, and I've played it so many times. I always get killed by these sort of guns, and yeah, they're a pretty good gun to use on that map. And if you're playing maybe, I don't know, Fringe, then I'd certainly recommend either the M8, the KN, or the Man of War, purely because it's quite a long map and assault rifles are pretty good on them. I'm not sure about the new maps though. Probably I'd say either assault rifles or submachine guns, because they all are a bit small. If you want to use a sniper, then I'd use them along with the assault rifles, so that'd be on the longer range maps. Okay, now on to tip 2. Now for tip 2, I'm going to be showing you what would be the best perks for what game mode. Now if you're playing sort of a respawn game, then you're going to be wanting either Afterburner, Blind Eye, or Flak Jacket, or maybe Ghost, depending on whether it's a long game or not. Now if you're playing something like S&D or Capture the Flag, then you're probably going to be wanting Ghost, Sixth Sense. Those are your two best perks from the perk 1 slot. Now if you're going over to perk 2 and you're playing a respawn game, I definitely say Fast Hands, Anti-Up, gotta get those score streaks, Cold-Blooded or Scavenger, because you can run out of bullets pretty quickly, and I sometimes struggle with that. If you're playing, as I said, Capture the Flag, Search and Destroy, then Hardwired, Tracker, Anti-Up's quite helpful on that as well. Be sure to use those if you're playing, at least some of them. And on the last one, I think these are definitely more S&D perks apart from these 3 here. Now these are dominant, I'd say, in multiplayer on a respawn, so be sure to use them if you're playing like Domination, Hardpoint, TDM. Now these 3, I know people do use them apart from Search and Destroy, but especially Awareness, they can be incredibly helpful and can give you the tip or the edge over the opposition if you're playing Search and Destroy. And make sure if you're using Awareness, you either have Blaster Suppressor or Dead Silence along with you. Now that's it for tip 2. We'll see you on tip 3. Now my tip 3 personally, I think is going to be the Specialists. Now these play a really big part in the game. As you know, they basically, I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean. Make sure you're using a correct like ability or weapon for the game mode you're playing. So if you're playing quite a short game mode, then Psychosis, Ripper, Active Camo, or possibly Rejack will be your best bet. But if you're playing a respawn, then Gravity Spikes, Ripper's still quite good, especially Purifier and Heatwave, and the War Machine, I'd say, as well. So yeah, make sure you use those correct specialists, especially if you're playing on a certain game mode. On to tip 4. Now for my 4th tip, it has to be score streaks. If you're playing an S&D or a low like score game, make sure you have the first 3 score streaks on. They're extremely easy to get and you don't really have to try that much. I've gotten so many care packages and UAVs and H60s while playing Search and Destroy. It's so easy to get them. Now if you're playing a respawn game, then the lowest streak you're probably going to want to get or put on is the dart, and then any of these upwards are fine. If I was going for a high game and I knew I was going to do well, I'd probably put on the Talon, a Wraith, and of course the Rolling Meatballs of Death. So yeah, make sure you have the correct score streaks on when you're playing again. Now tip 5 is my secondaries. Make sure you have a secondary on, because if you're using a sniper or anything and you run into a room and there's somebody in there, you need to have something that's going to kill them from close range pretty quickly without having to aim in or shoot. So that's why I'd either say you use the RK5 or the LCAR, or if you're going in for a bit of, I don't know, kick or punch, then definitely use the XM53. Now, if you're going on a respawn game, then I'd say you use one of these two or one of those two, purely because if there's score streaks, there's going to be a lot of score streaks on respawn, so make sure you have something to destroy them with that can play a big part in your game. And obviously, as I said, close range distance. Now if you're going maybe for on a map that's really small, then I'd recommend some of these melee weapons. Obviously you can use whatever melee weapons you have. I really want the Pathosaurus, by the way. All the Shadow Claws are quite good, but if you can't get your shot away quick enough, then it's not really the best thing. So that was it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.